Hi all, and welcome back to Hyperstamper. It's Laura here, and I have a lovely journal from 1901. This is a junk journal that is filled with antique and vintage ephemera, and this book was a song book, and I just wanted to keep the front very plain. It's got its original stain here. Don't know when that came about, but I love that it's worn like that. I've also just added a really huge bangle here with lots of ribbon and vintage beads, and this little vintage earring here, which is quite old actually, and I just thought it suited it, so I clipped it on. Let's take a look inside. This is actually a really big one. This is 9.5 by 7.5. Put some trim up here just for some fun, and on the inside page here, a beautiful little children's book page pocket, and then the 1892 Demarest magazine with these lovely bird prints here, and on the back as well, just really beautiful images. And you can see the original property of the school here, original stamp there, and there we go. Copyright. Oh, sorry, I apologize. It was 1914. It was copyrighted in 1901. My apologies. Still 109 years old. So this is just a antique book page that I just turned into a little journaling card here, and then a postcard from 1904. And this is a beautiful card here. It looks like it is being sent to somebody in Edinburgh, and I have the feeling that's where the postcard is from as well, in that area of Scotland. And on the other side, I have this vintage Victorian furniture book page, and I just taped or glued down some antique paper on the back to turn it into a journaling card, and some birch bark here and more vintage antique ephemera. And this is a wonderful photo. Look at this beautiful dress this woman is wearing to a wedding. Isn't that lovely? That's very old. We think it's from the 1940s, that one. And in amongst all of the antique and vintage ephemera, I've just added a few tea-dyed pages for extra journaling space. Another children's book page here, and a tag that I made out of a 1950s theater arts magazine page, and a vintage seed book. And here is the 1964 London Illustrated News here, and this gorgeous early 1900s plate from a book on Eastern European clothing, costumes, and homes. Here's the rest of that London Illustrated News page, and this lovely little children's book. Look at how sweet that is, the teddy bear and the mouse with the little hat. I love it. Here is a check from Bowers Corner Drugstore from 1954. Love it, Pennsylvania. And there is the Laurel Songbook, the original book cover here, page in there. And this is a beautiful plate under onion paper. And look at this one. Isn't that lovely? The Norman Castle. I love it. So I didn't want to pull it apart, so I left it alone. It is from the 1800s, but you can do anything you like with that. Beautiful song pages here. Another lovely children's storybook page here from the 20s. Look at that beautiful illustration, front and back, full page. Love it. This is another removable double pocket here, just a little bit of bling here. And I made this page from Flint and Feathers, Indigenous Authors Vintage book here, and then a 1950s Apollo Cake Specialties receipt. Isn't that fun? I love it. And you can just slip that back here and fill it with even more things of your own. There's a plate from a children's book, which is pretty hilarious. And another this would be, it's Art Deco, so I'm going to say that it's from the 1920s. And little poems here. Now this is from a very interesting book where they had the mothers would have learned the finger signs to these stories. So they even say here, the father is the thumb, the mother's baby's 3 seconds. So they tell you, the author of this book is who made up, the Itsy Bitsy Spider and all of the finger songs for children. Really cool. This is a cross stitch pattern, vintage, a typing lessons page here from a school book in the 40s, and another wonderful little children's page from the fingering chart, and a 1938 France Almanac page. This one is from Paris. Really fun. That is during World War II. A vintage stamp here and a vintage canasta score sheet there. What's over here? It's the antique book page from 1902. And this one here is from 1928. The postage stamp collector's book page there is from 1955. And how fun is this magazine? Billboard, 1928. And oh my gosh, look at, they actually had Western bands in the 20s. I did not know that. And just the most wonderful ads there. You'll really enjoy all of those. Pockets made out of crochet. Wonderful poems here in Tony's scrapbook from the 40s. Little piece of antique upholstery fabric there. Hiding a journaling spot. Another children's book page. Another children's book page. This is from the 40s here. Those two. A vintage songbook page. And this lovely, lovely page here from oh dear, I will replace this. This one got a little bit worn by being folded. So I'm going to replace that with another one. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to replace it, and I'm going to keep this one in it because the image is actually quite lovely. So when you pull that out, you're going to notice it is damaged, but there will be another one in there as well. Yay! A beautiful little different children's book. And that's that nice fuzzy cardstock children's book. And then here's this beautiful vintage soft hanky. You can pull that out and use it. And it's under a vintage crochet craft there. Vermont Avenue from the 1930s Monopoly game. And this is a very old, this is probably very brittle and may break out. Just tuck it back in or glue it down. And you can do some nice artwork or journaling on a page that you can adhere to there. And a vintage botanical book page there, and How to Make a Flower Garden from 1902. And this is such a big book. It really is. An antique page here that came off the jacket of a book, and that is also the jacket of a very, very old book, Strong and Steady, which is also a journal for sale in my shop. This is from 1920s. Little bank ticket here, journaling page, children's book page, and that brings us to the back. So you can see this now on hyperstamper.etsy.com, and please don't forget to subscribe. Talk to you soon.